Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about how to heal your acne from the inside out. And so this story, this lesson, everything about what I'm about to talk about is so important to me because acne is the reason why I'm here today. When I first started my health journey, it was all because of acne. And a little background on my acne story. I didn't have any skin problems in high school, like very minimal. And then I went to college. My first year, I didn't really have anything bad, like very minimal again. It could all be treated with topical stuff. And then I was in a car accident. And a few days after my car accident is when my skin started going crazy. So I literally woke up one day with horrible acne and it kept getting worse and worse. And I dealt with that for like 6 years and I still deal with acne, but it's not as bad as before. It's nowhere near as bad as before, and I have all the answers too that I need to heal it. It just takes time of reversing everything and really healing the body from the inside out. And so that's what my message here today is that you aren't going to heal your skin overnight, especially if it's cystic. So number one, toxicity. So this was so important for me to realize, and when I really started focusing on toxicity, sometimes without even noticing, like my acne journey was up and down. Like sometimes it was good, sometimes it was bad, sometimes I cured it, sometimes it came back. Like it was up and down. So when I look back in hindsight, I can really see what I was doing that worked and what didn't work, obviously. And so toxicity. And I'm not just talking about like drinking alcohol, although that doesn't help. I'm talking about like your living environment, your relationships, your career, like your roommates, everything, all of your life. Like where is there toxicity? That is so important. And so personally for my skin, when I was in a really bad relationship, it reflected in my skin. And when I was in, what other kind of toxicity? When I was living in a toxic environment, it reflected in my skin. When I was working in a toxic environment, it reflected in my skin. And when I was living in a place that had physical toxins from mold, I had really bad skin. And so it all ties together, and it's really important to think like, am I living in a moldy environment? And I talk about mold a lot because that was such a big part of my journey. And every time I look back on my skin being bad, I was living in mold. And that's not the case for everybody, but it could be for a wide range of people because 25% of people have the HLA-DR gene, which doesn't allow them to detox biotoxins properly. And a biotoxin could be like from Lyme disease, it could be from mold, like water damaged buildings. So it's about 85% of buildings have all had water damage before, and like 50 or 55% still have water damage. And so that leaves room for toxicity and all the biotoxins, especially if you fit into that 25% range of that genetic makeup. So that's just something to think about. It's not going to be for everybody, but it was for me, and it is for a lot of people that I know. And yeah, really assess, like, is this person in my life good for me? Is this job in my life making me feel good, or does it make me really question my worth? And you have to do something about that. The whole point of life is to be happy and joyful and to do what makes you feel fulfilled. So if those people or that thing is not doing it, it might be reflecting in your skin. Okay, number two, diet. So acne is believed to be diabetes of the skin, and so we need to treat it as such, and that would mean eating like a low sugar diet and cutting out any kind of added sugar like cane sugar or just added sugar in general. And even honey and maple syrup and high sugary fruits and grains and carbs that convert to sugar, all that, I would consider taking those out of your diet and maybe doing something like keto just for a little bit, or like paleo just for a little bit, so that you can let your skin heal. And you might be really surprised to see the difference because it's not feeding anything in your body, which is my next point, and I'll get on to that. But it really will give your body room to heal. And just diet in general. So non-processed foods, having lots of water, eating tons of greens and veggies, and having healthy fruit. And if you're doing a low sugar diet, then maybe doing like just berries like in the morning in a shake or something, making sure to get a lot of protein. Protein was really huge for me. That was like when my skin turned around for the last time. Like when I really saw a turnaround was when I got out of mold, I got out of toxicity with my job and toxicity with a past relationship, and then I started, and this is just right for me, but I was vegetarian vegan for my whole life almost, and I had to add in meat because of just, I'm a blood type B, and that does better with animal products, unfortunately, because I was a vegetarian vegan for the ethical side, and so I still choose the most ethical that I can, but I was low in vitamin D, I was low in just like really essential things, iron, everything that I really needed, and I was already taking so many supplements, so I just needed it from food because that's what I believe is like a whole, as whole and from the earth as you can, so that worked for me. But when I started having fish and healthy fats and all that stuff, my skin started really reflecting that too. So the protein builds healthy skin for you. And it's just something to consider. If you're vegan, you don't have to add in meat. Maybe just get a good protein powder that has a full, complete amino acid profile. And I didn't even know what a complete protein was before, but you have to be focusing, if you're vegan, you have to make sure that you're getting all the right amino acids. Otherwise, it could reflect in your skin. Okay, number 3, gut health. So Hippocrates believed that all disease begins in the gut, and I definitely believe that too, because the gut is just like your second brain, and they're connected, and you need good gut health to just function into the world properly. And your gut is so intelligent. Like, you know, when you have a gut feeling, that is because your gut is innately intelligent, and you need it operating really well to function properly in the world. So things that could be going on in the gut, you could have SIBO, you could have leaky gut. SIBO is small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, and SIFO is small intestinal fungal overgrowth, and you can have candida. There's a ton of things that could be going on in your gut. You could have parasites, just other infections as well. And so if you're curious about your gut health, have your doctor do a stool test. And if your doctor doesn't do that kind of thing, maybe look for a functional doctor that would for you, because it's so important to know what's going on. If you're having skin issues, you're most likely having gut issues. Like, I know a lot of people are going to relate with that, like whether it's bloating or like stomach pain, or, you know, you probably get the picture. But tie that back to sugar. So if you have these overgrowths in your gut, whether it's bacterial or fungal or parasites or anything, they will feed off of sugar that you eat in your diet. They will love these processed carbs that convert to sugar. And so it's so important to take those out of your diet. And not only because you don't want to feed those things, but you also want to lower your inflammation in your body. And sugar, gluten, dairy, all those things, they increase inflammation, and so you want to decrease that so your immunity can be higher, and your immunity can then balance out your gut. And you're also going to have to do other things like bone broth, probiotics, and you'll want to take maybe some antimicrobials like garlic, olive leaf, oregano, just a bunch of different. I'll make another video on like specifically gut health, but you want to focus on your gut is what I'm saying. If you have acne, think your gut. Go straight to your gut. Think about it. Nurture it. Okay. And then this next one is like so important, and I didn't realize it until the end of my acne journey, but unresolved emotions can manifest into the physical. And whatever you believe, like maybe that's too out there for you, but that, like, I know that's so be true. And for me, when I think about conditions that I have or had, I think about the emotion that is tied to that. And so for acne, it's like I didn't want to go out in the world. I wanted to put makeup on, hide who I really am, keyword hide who I really am, because I didn't feel good enough, not enough, keyword. So those emotions, and like, so unworthy, shame, not being enough, those were things that I saw in my life way beyond just acne. And so really focusing and tuning in on those. I'll make another video on like how to heal unresolved emotions as well. I posted on Instagram recently, like just kind of an overview of what I do, but you really have to focus on like going to the root of where that emotion started and just sending love to it, gratitude to it, forgiveness to it, working through it so that that doesn't control your life anymore, so that you can change your mindset. And like, even if you still have acne, you can show up in the world and say like, I'm worthy, or I'm enough, or like, I have no shame. Like I'm super proud of who I am. I'm proud of everything that I've gone through, even the mistakes that I've made, because they've led me to this point. And I know that this point is going to take me to that dream place that I'm trying to get to. So it's all part of the process. And when you can really like tune in and find that in yourself, I really see that reflecting in any kind of symptom that you have, not just acne, like even gut health, like all of it. And like, that's also another really important thing to note is like, acne is just the surface level. Literally, it's just the surface level. It's not usually the root illness or issue. So the root is what you need to get to, and the root is, it's a whole bunch of things. It's spiritual, emotional, physical, but it could be toxicity, infection, like lack of nutrients. It could be so much, and you just have to address that. And like for me right now, I know that my skin's not perfect. It's not like the glowy, perfect thing that I have in my head, but that's okay. And I'm giving myself that grace because I know I'm working through so many other things right now, and I'm focusing on detoxing. And your skin is your largest organ, so if you're having a hard time removing toxins, especially if you have that gene, the HLA-DR gene, then it will come out of your skin sometimes. It will reflect in your skin. And so you just have to be like gracious with yourself. And maybe if that's the case for you, do more coffee enemas, do more sauna, do a juice cleanse, which I'll talk about. Last point, number 5, is tying it all together. And it's just my overall recommendations for you, which is focus on toxicity and focus on nutrients. And so I really think that juice cleanses are so helpful. They just help you get ahead of the game so much quicker. And I wish I did this when my acne was really bad. It would have just given me a boost really quick. And so if you can do an extended juice fast, like maybe 3 days or maybe like a week long, if you could do that, or even longer. Some people do 28 days, and there's a documentary, Super Juice Me, and Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, but Super Juice Me is the really good one, and it gets you motivated and you're like, I want to do this. But it just gives your body a chance to balance out and really heal. So I think that that could be really helpful if you're like at the place that I was before, where it was like, I will do anything. I wish someone talked to me about juicing. So that's an option. Definitely remove sugar. Consider removing gluten, dairy, grains. You want to just lower your inflammation in your body, like I was saying. So just change your diet and make a commitment to changing your diet. Detox your life. And so that doesn't just mean like with the juicing, it means looking at every single part of your life, your relationships, your career, your spirituality, whatever it is, whatever your mindset is, just detoxing that, making sure that it's not toxic, making sure you're not saying mean things to yourself, making sure that you're healing your unresolved emotions, you're going back into your past, you're making sure that everything is good and you don't have any traumas that are still looping in your mind and attracting these physical things into your life, or these situations that feel toxic and then transfer into a physical illness. And so it's just really important to do that. And then of course healing your gut, so just focusing on different things that are gut healing, like probiotics and the bone broth, and ACV can be really good, but you want to be careful not to burn your esophagus or your teeth. You don't want to burn the enamel. So doing like a capsule form, which we sell at the company that I work at, which is True Supplements. So you can go there, you can go anywhere and get a ACV supplement if that's what you feel called to doing. Just focus on tying it all together from the inside out. And personally, I stopped washing my face. I stopped buying new products. I've stopped like doing all these really harsh things on the top, because until you address what's inside and what's really going on, then the problem will still keep happening. And so give your body grace, understand that this takes time, and yeah, that's my advice for today. And that all of that helped me get to a place where I at least feel like I'm almost there, and I feel like I know relatively where the finish line is because I went through the Lyme disease treatment recently, and so I'm still heavily detoxing, but I know like within a year my skin should reflect all the hard work that I've done spiritually, emotionally, physically. I hope that you guys found this helpful. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new here, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of the videos. And thank you guys for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye!